Lakers Nation, what is going on? So in today's video we have some huge Lakers news because a brand new 3-team trade proposal has the Los Angeles Lakers landing one of the best defensive players in the entire NBA, and if this trade actually happened, it could completely change the Lakers' championship chances around Luka Doncic. So make sure you stay all the way until the end because we are going to break down the entire trade, why every team could consider doing it, and whether or not this is actually a move Rob Pelinka should make, because there are a lot of details that every Lakers fan needs to hear. The Los Angeles Lakers continue to be one of the biggest teams involved in trade rumors this offseason as they continue looking for ways to build a championship-caliber roster around superstar Luka Doncic, and this latest proposal could be one of the biggest ideas we have seen so far. This proposed 3-team trade would have the Los Angeles Lakers receiving Herb Jones, the New Orleans Pelicans receiving Miles Turner, and the Milwaukee Bucks receiving Jared Vanderbilt, Jordan Hawkins, and Saddiq Bey. Right away, this is a trade that would immediately improve the Lakers' perimeter defense after losing Marcus Smart, because one of the biggest concerns surrounding this team has been finding another elite wing defender that can guard the best players every single night, and Herb Jones is exactly that type of player. Herb Jones is a former all-defensive first-team selection and is still considered one of the best on-ball defenders in the entire NBA. He is 27 years old, entering the prime of his career, which also fits perfectly with the Lakers' current timeline as they continue building around Luka Doncic with players that are in their mid to late 20s. But what makes Herb Jones even more valuable is that he is not only an elite defender, he can also knock down three-point shots. Throughout his career he has shot 35% from beyond the three-point line, making him someone that can play on both ends of the floor. Playing next to Luka Doncic could make Herb Jones even more dangerous, because Luka constantly creates wide-open shots for his teammates with his ability to drive into the paint, attract defenders, and make incredible passes. That means Herb Jones could end up shooting an even better percentage from three, playing alongside one of the best playmakers in basketball. The Lakers have also recently been linked to players like Matisse Thybulle, Jonathan Kuminga, and PJ Washington, because they still want to improve their perimeter defense after using their 15th and final roster spot on Zaire Williams, a 6'9" wing with defensive upside. While those would all be solid additions, Herb Jones would easily be the biggest move, because he has already proven himself as one of the league's top defenders and would immediately become one of the most important players on this roster. The biggest problem for the Lakers is that after trading so many assets for Walker Kessler, they simply do not have many pieces left to make a deal for Herb Jones, which is why this 3-team trade becomes so interesting, because it gives every team something they could potentially want. According to this proposal, the Lakers would receive Herb Jones, the Pelicans would receive Miles Turner, and the Bucks would receive Jared Vanderbilt, Jordan Hawkins, and Saddiq Bey. From the Lakers' perspective, this move makes a lot of sense, because Herb Jones could slide right into the starting lineup next to Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, Walker Kessler, and possibly Sandro Mamukelashvili, creating a starting five with shooting, defensive versatility, size, and playmaking. Having Herb Jones on the floor would allow the Lakers to defend the opposing team's best perimeter player every single night, while Luka Doncic can focus more on running the offense and creating opportunities for everyone else. Offensively, Herb Jones would continue spacing the floor. Even though he is not considered a high-volume three-point shooter like Trey Murphy III, he still averaged 1.4 made three-pointers per game while playing 28.4 minutes, and those numbers could increase dramatically playing next to Luka Doncic, because Luka creates some of the easiest three-point opportunities in the NBA. That is why many people believe swapping Jared Vanderbilt for Herb Jones would be a no-brainer for the Lakers, because Herb brings elite defense while also giving the team much more reliable shooting. Now, looking at things from the Milwaukee Bucks' perspective, this trade could also make sense, because the Bucks have shifted toward rebuilding after trading superstar Giannis Antetokounmpo. After moving Giannis, the Bucks received several promising young players, but Miles Turner, who is now 30 years old, no longer fits the timeline of a rebuilding team. Instead, this trade would give Milwaukee 3 players that could all help during their rebuild, including Jordan Hawkins, who has shown plenty of potential during his first 3 seasons in the NBA. Hawkins is on an expiring contract, Saddiq Bey is also on an expiring contract, and Jared Vanderbilt only has 1 year remaining, giving the Bucks flexibility while continuing to evaluate younger talent. The Bucks are expected to build around young players like Ryan Rollins, Braden Burries, Nate Ament-Kellel, where Kaspers Jakushionis and Jamie Jaquez Jr. making Miles Turner a player they could realistically move, especially because Kellel is expected to become the team's starting center, making Turner much more expendable. Now, from the New Orleans Pelicans' perspective, there is also an argument for making this trade because last season Zion Williamson was moved into a bench role due to Herb Jones and Trey Murphy III occupying the two forward positions. Because of that, the Pelicans have a crowded frontcourt and eventually may need to move one of those forwards in order to create more playing time and balance throughout the roster. The Pelicans are also looking toward the future with a young core featuring Derek Queen, Jeremiah Fears, and a returning DeJounte Murray expected to take over the starting point guard role. Adding Miles Turner would give the Pelicans another experienced big man who can stretch the floor with three-point shooting while also protecting the rim with his shot-blocking ability. Some people may argue that Turner is not the perfect fit because the Pelicans already have Derek Queen and Yves Missy, but having another talented center is never a bad thing, especially in the Western Conference where teams have to battle players like Victor Wembanyama and Nikola Jokic throughout the season. Overall, this is definitely one of the more interesting trade ideas involving the Lakers because Herb Jones fills one of the team's biggest needs with elite perimeter defense, toughness, versatility, and reliable outside shooting while also fitting the age timeline of the roster around Luka Doncic. The biggest question is whether the Pelicans would actually be willing to move one of their best defenders and whether the Lakers have enough value to convince both teams to complete the deal. Now I want to hear from all of you Lakers Nation. If this trade was available today, would you trade Jared Vanderbilt for Herb Jones? Do you think Herb Jones is the missing piece that can help the Lakers compete for another championship with Luka Doncic? Let me know down below in the comments. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and turn on all notifications so you never miss any more breaking Lakers news, trade rumors, and off-season updates. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.